want to ask you both because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And of course, we'd be talking about Star Wars The Acolyte, the brand new show full of DEI, their equity and inclusion, and all of their woke shit.
The latest Disney misstep in the Star Wars universe. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, at this point, they're beating this dead rotten horse, hoping that some kind of stale gas will fart out of it that they can still get some money from.
Enough of that stuff, though. Like, I haven't watched it. All I saw was the memes that it's like you've got two black lesbian communists that have birthed a child without a man because they don't need no man.
They don't need no man. Or no, see, in this new show, they're communist lesbian space witches.
Well, we'll get to that. Pitch me the show from the beginning.
That's what I'm doing.
That's what he's doing.
Well, anyway, the communist lesbian space witches, they wanted to hide away from the rest of the Republic because the Republic, they're not down for those types of people.
And on the third day, God created the Remington bolt-action rifle so that man could fight the dinosaurs and the homosexuals. Amen.
Anyway, they want to hide away from the rest of the Republic, and yet they hide away in this giant fortress on top of a mountain that can very clearly be seen from space.
A little ostentatious for stealth.
Yeah, it's not like they're huddled in the woods, down living amongst the trees. It's this giant fortress, and they all congregate together because you can obviously tell what kind of power fantasy this is. It's from the executive producer, Leslie Headland, who also happened to be Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant. But she saw nothing untoward. Anyway.
Nope.
So even though up to this point, no child had ever been born of the Force.
But refresh us, in the canon as far as Star Wars universe goes, only one ever was, but this is set predating Anakin Skywalker.
This is during the High Republic days, based on a series of books that shit the bed and nobody bought. And basically, this group of communist lesbian space witches, they came together and they chanted together, and they made two black twins. So even in a galaxy far, far away, black children don't have a father. But anyway, this is the first show where Jedi are actually evil, because all the Jedi that they see are white, and they have one.
But we have evil Jedi. They're called the Sith. But it already exists.
Nope. Nobody knows about Sith.
Just call them the Sith and be like, oh, the Sith showed up.
But so this predates the Sith also?
No, it doesn't predate the Sith. It's just I don't even know what they're exactly going for.
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
To me, what you showed me, it looked like they were trying to make out these groups of Jedi like they were part of the Nazi eugenics program that was going around collecting all of the good kids.
The Force sensitive. They're the people that they thought were Force sensitive. And one of the twins, the black children, wanted to be a Jedi. The other one did not. And
but before we get started on them, the Jedi in question here that are collecting all of the good kids, they're all white males, correct?
Yes, white cis white males.
Is this before the Jedi Council on?
Yeah,
Coruscant?
this is hundreds of. Well,
I haven't played
KOTOR
in a while, so I don't remember.
No, there is the Jedi Council, because the Jedi Council it's within 1,000. Because I think
sending them around to get all the good kids.
Yeah. So there is a Jedi Council, but the Jedi in this show are mean and evil because they're trying to just kidnap children and make them Jedi. And, of course, the communist lesbian space witches.
Everyone knows that you have to gamble for your children in order to get them.
Pod races are nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so as they go, even though, again...
I love that you're using that episode as a good example
of
how the Star Wars universe is meant to be treated.
In retrospect,
slavery.
That's now good.
Yeah, in retrospect, maybe Jar Jar wasn't so bad.
Yeah, Jar Jar, we're sorry. We're sorry. Please come
We
back.
didn't know what we had.
I will remember you.
We didn't know what we had. That's absolutely
You're
true.
like, he talks really funny, and he's annoying.
But
And that's,
But at least
that's the
he's not
only
a
thing.
communist lesbian space witch.
Yes. Well, anyway, in the midst of their scissoring, the Jedi show up and they want to test these children, and so the two mothers of the children tell them to fail the test so the Jedi will go away and all this stuff. But one of them doesn't want that. She wants to be an explorer or a Jedi, whatever it was. Anyway,
And so, of course, she goes ahead and gets in there because she's not going to be bound by her authority figure, right?
yeah, she's like, because she wants to leave.
She's a powerful female character.
Yes, they're powerful girl boss characters. And even though it is stated multiple times throughout this show that the thread is not a weapon and cannot possibly be used as a weapon, in the very first the third episode, it's used as a weapon to kill a white male Jedi with red hair.
If you only knew the power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Ooh, the
Whoa,
most
that's
evil one.
the
Yeah.
fact that a redhead is in a Disney movie is way more surprising than anything you've said so far,
Like
because you
Ginger
know what
Binks,
happens
no.
with the gingers.
Yes, Ginger Binks. And
Yes, Ginger Binks. Oh, he's a bad.
but
The worst.
But the main, I guess, the highest profile Jedi in the show at that time was the main guy from Squid Games. Anybody, you seen that?
No.
Squidward?
No, the Squid Game.
Oh.
It's on Netflix. It's an Asian show about it. And anyway, that's not a point.
So it's not SpongeBob.
The point is if people are gay, I don't care. But jamming it down everybody's throats like that is the problem.
I'd
That's why
say at
it's-
this point, it's not even you're jamming the gay, the LGBT down people's throats. It's that you have a set lore and you're just at every whim being like, that stuff that we had before, out. We don't care about that.
That's
Yeah.
it. The Star Wars fandom is a rabidly loyal universe.
There's
Like,
people
they're-
that still don't even accept the new Disney lore and are like, we're only going off
Well-
Star Wars. Legends is the one that was all
Yeah.
the books beforehand, right?
Yeah, the Legends is what Disney cut out and said is no longer canon. But the
Yeah.
thing is Star Wars fans are so rabid that the only way they could get Harrison Ford to agree to appear in the sequel movie was if they killed him. Like Harrison Ford himself said, the only way I will come back is if you kill me. Because he wanted to be dead, like from as far back as
In the movie, right?
Return of the Jedi. Yeah, and in the sequels.
Well, I mean,
Not in
also,
real life.
Think about how rabid
He wrecks enough planes into golf courses, you'd think.
Yeah, they don't even like small changes. Like, you remember when they remastered and re-released the original 3 and they
Yeah.
added the computer-generated Jabba the Hutt?
Yeah.
And they were screaming fake at the screen?
Yeah.
Like, they like their Star Wars universe a certain way. And
Well,
if you change it the slightest little bit, they get pissed. And this is a major change pushing your fucking political ideals. And what is Disney hoping to get out of this?
This was not this.
BlackRock money.
Well, yeah, because they actually did put in a hefty donation, but no, it
Imagine my shock.
But the thing is like fans, there is a lore that has been well established in books, movies, comic books, toys, all of the Star Wars lore over the course of 40 years. And now all of a sudden they're just like, nope, not doing that.
Yeah, the producer
And-
there, she basically said, fuck all that.
Yeah, and then when people came out and said they didn't like it, she said, fuck you, don't watch it. Like, do you remember?
And then they stopped watching it.
Yeah, exactly. And then
But apparently a lot of people are watching it just because it pisses them off. It's like,
You hate watching
I hate
it. Well,
it, so I'm going to watch
I have to see how bad it is. And
Well,
it's like, no,
also-
stop doing that. You're still giving them hits that they can say X amount of people watch this.
Yes.
Well,
it's
actually,
100%.
actually, what's funny about that is Disney just got caught lying about how many people were watching the show, but again,
tell me about that. I didn't know about this. Tell me about this.
I'm shocked that they would inflate their numbers. That never happens.
Basically, I forget how it happened, but they were going into interviews saying, "Oh no, it's doing good. It's doing good." With the first 48 hours, there's like 11 million people watching this show. No, and it turns out it was like half, like less than half of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, but I mean, in the first 48 hours before everybody saw what a fucking clusterfuck it was, I could see them getting big numbers, and everybody seeing it was like, "Wait a minute, this is shit."
Yeah, and but no, I mean they. Throughout the entirety, every time, because I guess they're releasing each episode like one a week, and every episode just gets worse and worse and worse and worse numbers and worse numbers. But they keep saying, "Oh no, it's good," and it is so bad that one of the main actresses in the show even put out a quote unquote diss track on Twitter that said, "Take this, bigots," and it was. And she put out a rap song thing and was just talking shit about the people that didn't like
standard. We're putting out this piece of shit, and if you don't like it, you hate it for some reason.
You're a bigot.
Bigot related.
Yeah, and like, do you remember?
You just got to hit him with the Chad yes, Wojak.
Well, like what you were talking about earlier.
I'll have Casey put it up on the screen here.
Okay.
But no, do you remember like when like back in the day when somebody like a big IP came out and politics kind of like they threw in a bit of their politics and then when people were like, "I don't like this is woke shit," whatever, they'd be like, "Oh well, we're sorry, we were just trying something different." They would apologize and stuff. Like I miss those days. Like, I remember back then they used to be like, "Oh, well, whatever." But now they're like,
when
"Fuck
they were
you."
subtle about it.
Yeah. And now,
here's
now they're just like, "Here, we're going to piss in your face."
Like they were passive aggressive and like pseudo manipulative, where now it's just like,
yeah. Like if you're going to fucking lie to me, at least
here's your
lie to
shit
me.
sandwich, eat it.
The counter argument to that they always have is that, politics has always been in stuff. You were just too young and didn't notice. And then they'll point out stuff like basically the entire prequel trilogy is just a political trilogy.
Yes, that's
not in terms of like we're trying to make you think something, but in terms of like, oh hey, if you want to get a better enjoyable experience, pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah, but the thing is it comes back
the Jedi are evil.
Because the biggest problem with the Acolyte is they're saying that, well, you just don't like it because women are the showrunner. No. Like, one of my favorite shows on Earth is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And because she was a well-written character, she wasn't just a girl boss who was just, I'm always awesome. And I kind of forgot I was awesome, Captain Marvel. And but then I remembered I'm awesome, and now I'm just awesome again. Like, Buffy, she got the shit kicked out of her a lot, but she learned from it, and her characters were fleshed out and actually enjoyable to watch.
Her character grew.
Yeah, and that's the exact reason why movies like Captain Marvel fucking tanked and Captain America flourished and did so well because he grew as a character, whereas Captain Marvel was just, well, I landed on this planet and I forgot that I was badass, but then I remembered I was badass, and now I'm powerful again.
Oh, good for you.
Like, they're never in any peril of dying. They're never in any real danger because they just dominate any situation. Same thing again with the sequel trilogy. But, never didn't know the Force even existed, but then all of a sudden... She's
the second most powerful user of said Force.
No, the number one. Because, in the first movie, the second movie, yes, she is number one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because even though Kylo Ren, who was trained
by Luke Skywalker,
the greatest Jedi that ever lived,
Anakin was dead.
Huh?
Anakin was dead.
Luke surpassed him eventually, but yeah. Anyway, he was trained by, again, Luke Skywalker for many years, knew the Force existed and everything. And if you remember the prequel trilogies, like how awesome the lightsaber fights were, because it was almost like a ballet.
They really were good in the prequels.
And then in the sequels, it looked like two drunk assholes trying to hit each other with baseball bats.
Guess what? The Sith Army. Anger's not the way of the Jedi.
Yep.
And And that's just it.
Like the original trilogy.
Is Rey, once again, had no knowledge of sword fighting or anything like that, but she still not only held her own against Kylo Ren, who, again, had been trained by Luke Skywalker. She beat Kylo Ren the very first time she ever picked up a lightsaber. And even though in established canon, it takes years for, Jedi...
Decades.
Trainees to even be able to pick up, a rock from across the room.
It's like in the logic of that fight alone, those little kids that Anakin chopped up in the prequel could have held their own against him.
Yeah, like pretty much. And that was it. Kylo Ren was a joke the entire sequel trilogy.
He just seemed like a whining child.
I'll give it this. It's not an excuse because it still falls back on the directors.
It does.
But the fact that they decided we're not going to have one person direct all 3 movies, I don't give it a pass, but I give a little bit of lenience to it because basically, who was the second director?
I don't know.
Ryan
Johnson.
Whoever the second director was, I remember seeing something where he basically came in and he's like, yeah, the guy that directed the first movie, I don't like the way he was taking stuff. I'm going to take it a different direction. And you're like, he set up a trilogy. You've got to at least attempt to stick with it.
Yeah, you have to go by his initial vision.
That's the thing. I don't blame, although I'm sure Daisy Ridley had her own notes on how her character was portrayed, but I don't blame Adam.
Well,
Adam
it was
Driver,
her job to flesh the character out, so she better have.
Well, but what I'm saying is, she does how she's written. I mean,
Yeah.
And Adam Driver, he just kind of, he did what he's supposed to do. I don't necessarily blame the actors too much. It's all the writers and directors who wanted to jam this shit in our face.
It's one of those things where, and I feel like this is with a lot of stuff that's been coming out recently, where the director thinks, that idea is good, but I can do it better, and then it flops miserably.